What is going on, guys? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. As you can see, I'm still not home. I'm just spending time with family due to the loss of my grandmother. And again, thank you so much for everybody. All your kind words have just really meant a lot to me and my family. I've been sharing all of your condolences with them. So I do want to talk about Zomedica today. I know a lot of people are upset. There was a lot of back and forth going on the Discord. There's a lot going on the internet, and I just want to make this video because we see headlines, we see titles like this article here from the Motley Fool saying why is Zomedica stock plunged today, saying that maybe some of the investors started to kind of panic sell due to the fact that the CEO mentioned they're switching from a distributor based sales approach for the True Pharma diagnostic platform to a direct sales approach. So they're going to have a dedicated team, which could affect sales at the beginning, but for longevity and long term, they're expecting that this is going to actually be something very good for the company to help them get more sales over time instead of just the short term. So if you read the article, it talks about why Zomedica stock fell 13.7% today. So this is true. Overall the day it was pretty red. I did have my limit buy order, which I'll share with you guys when I'm back home in my typical setup. But I did, buy about 1,000 shares this morning once it hit around the 89 cent mark because we know that's a previous support line. But of course, it broke right through that because again, a lot of people are selling their shares. Now, remember, my channel is not for financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. But I do want to quickly mention before continuing on to the video that you can get your two free stocks when you deposit $100 with Webull. The first free stock for opening the brokerage account between $2.50 and $250 guaranteed just for opening an account. Then you get a second free stock between $8 and $1,600 just for depositing 100 without even buying a single stock. So get your two free stocks and also get your $250 worth of Bitcoin for free when you deposit up to $250 of Bitcoin when you deposit. Anywhere between $25 and $20,000. You can look at the different brackets there, but get your free Bitcoin with Blockfi. My links are down below. Now, Zomedica did fall 13.7% today, right? And it was actually a little more than that on Friday specifically. But if we look at even the 5-day chart after it rallied to $1.18, it's down about 27%. Now, what I want to say is, guys, remember, my channel, when I say I'm not a financial advisor, I truly mean that. I share with you guys, what I am buying myself. That doesn't mean you have to replicate that exactly, right? You could find entry points that you're more comfortable with, right? We originally bought Zomedica at 39 cents a share. We ran it all the way up. Let's look at just the 1 year. We ran it all the way up to almost $3 a share. We set our trailing stop losses. If you were following me step by step, we sold the majority of our shares, and once it dropped right to $2, we bought in some more after our initial sold. Then we've been averaging down. Currently at $1.31 a share is my current average. And remember, this is not just a Zomedica thing that is going on. BNGO, right? Another stock that ran up significantly this year, right? Peaked at almost, what is that, $16 a share and has dropped 63%. Zomedica peaked at around 270, 290, say, down, guess what? About 63, 68 cents a share. A lot of these penny stocks, guys, are all following the same trend. CPSH, right? One of the dead inside stocks. I just want to bring this one up just because I know he talked about it a lot at the beginning. I bought in very early on and I sold my shares out near the $20 range. But look, down 68%. There's an obvious trend going on with all the penny stocks, not just our Zomedica, not just, healthcare stocks, but all around penny stocks. There's a sector rotation, right? Institutional, non-institutional investors, retail investors like you and I are selling out of their positions in the penny stock realm and putting them into things like high growth stocks, cryptocurrencies, right? We know what's happened to Dogecoin lately. If you're watching, crypto at all, you know exactly what's happening. And it's been crazy, right? So the reason that I am not someone who I have never mentioned that I've never stated I'm a financial advisor or anything along those lines. I just tell you guys, hey, these are the plays that I'm in, and this is what I'm doing. I can never give you conviction in stocks. Me, myself, I have conviction in these stocks, and that's why I bought into them. And I'm not selling. I'm not paper handing whatsoever. You can sell out if you're afraid that it's going to continue to drop, which it very well could. But for me, if it's something that I can address or I can realize that with volatility and everything, in a downward trajectory, if it even goes down even more, if it gets to 70 cents, 60 cents, 50, I don't, to me, it's just like, if I can increase my position size for the long term, not the next year, 5 years, 10 years, right? I am not too worried about this downward trajectory or downward movement. So I just want to make sure I shared that with everybody and just to keep you guys all informed on the things that I'm doing because I've been reading the comments. A lot of people have been saying they're averaging down, so good for you if you truly have conviction and trust in the company, their CEO, their team. Great, you believe in the diagnostic product that they have come up with, that they have created and patented, right? And you believe that they're going to have expansion moving forward and they're going to use the revenues that they're making quarter over quarter, year over year to hopefully continue to grow their company and add more diagnostic potential outside of just adrenal and thyroid, even potentially some cancers is what they're, what's on their pipeline. That's how you can decide for yourself whether or not Zomedica is going to be a continued hold, right? Because I don't want it to be next week on Monday, right? People start coming back into penny stocks. We see it run up to $1.50, $1.60, and then everyone is saying, "Hey, you should have told us not to sell." Because I can't tell you that. I'm not someone who can tell you to buy or sell any of these stocks. But instead, I can just tell you exactly what I'm doing, and you could, if you'd like to, you can mirror that, find better entry points that I do. Because guess what? Right now, in the downward spiral, 89 cents a share, I bought more because I know that was a support line, but we broke it. We don't have, based off the technicals, we have no other support lines on the way outside of 14 cents a share. Now, do I envision Zomedica dropping that low? Probably not. I highly doubt that. Can it though? Very possible. We don't know the future. We can't predict it. But always look at look at the overall chart for any stock, right? We're still up pretty substantially for if you look at the 1 year, right? If we go back to April of 2020, all the way to now, it's still up 430%. Yes, at some point we're up 1,500%, right? And since then we've had a pullback. But can it bounce off at any moment? It can happen. We just need something that excites the retail investor to get people back into these plays because people are getting away from speculative plays and trying to grow their portfolios, you know, in a way that they can just not worry about day to day looking at the portfolio, having that anxiety because again, it's not really healthy. That's another thing people are probably realizing. When you're invested in penny stocks, you're looking at your portfolio at a minimum 20 to 30 times a day. You know who you are, right? I'm one of those people that I'm constantly checking. So to get people to leave those kind of headaches and kind of get yourself into more, high growth potential stocks that are already well established, in the 20, 30, 40, 50 billion dollar market cap range and more than and even higher. Those are the things that are going to be a lot less volatile. On red days, they might drop 1 or 2%. On green days, they might go up 1 or 2%. So if you're comfortable with those kind of gains, between anywhere from 7 to 20 to 30, 40, even 50% gains over a year, then find yourself high growth stocks. Tesla, Square, the list can go on. I can, some of these recovery plays too that are already well established, right? Some of the retail world. So we can look at things like Macy's, Nordstrom. The list goes on. Some of the airlines, Delta Airlines, American Airlines. You can decide for yourself what you're most comfortable investing in. Today I actually bought some Boeing stock. This morning I decided to sell out some of my planes from my main portfolio that were more speculative and buy into some of these growth stocks. I'm still holding Zomedica because again, for me, it's one of those that are very high risk, and I'm seeing that right now as it pulls back, but very high reward if they're able to capitalize and do well, over the next few years. Especially right now, it's a critical time over this next quarter for them to rack as much revenue as possible and sell as many units as possible to hopefully show investors the true potential of the true pharma and to continue to excite us as people who invested early on and hopefully start getting new investors in on Zomedica over time. So, and again, we can look at some of the other stock gurus, if you, I don't know if I want to call them gurus, but people who have been, saying, "Hey, Zomedica is going to go. It might basically the ship might sink." Right? People like Chris Sane, who mentioned he said you need to get out of this play as soon as you can, and with that, it creates just more of a selling pressure, especially for those of you who don't have true conviction in these stocks. Some people, as Keenan says, he says a lot of people are crash test dummies. As soon as they hear something, they'll buy it and run themselves right into a wall. Buy high, sell low. And those are people who are truly, the least informed and who end up losing the most amount of money in the stock market, right? When I see red days and red portfolios, for myself, I try to figure out, okay, how can I decrease my risk by maybe diversifying, buying more stocks that are outside of the sectors that I'm already in, averaging down, especially in the companies that I truly, truly believe in. Because don't get me wrong, when I see there's excitement over a stock, it's very hard to not FOMO into it, fear of missing out. You want to buy into it ASAP, thinking that it's going to continue to run up. But I've already been burned back when I was buying crypto, in 2017 with that same ideology. I had the, understanding that I can make so much money in a very little amount of time, and it's just going to continue that way. But everything that spikes up, you know, at a in a short amount of time, tends to pull back down very quickly as well. So be extremely careful if you're someone who's investing in these speculative plays. Buy into only the ones that you truly, truly believe in, because when the red days come, you will not sell. Instead, either buy more, hold, or ignore. So Zomedica should not be a stock that you look at every day. Try to put this, buy it and forget it. That's kind of my idea behind it. That's what I am doing personally. Now, if you're not able to stomach that, then of course, by any means, do what you got to do, and no hard feelings. Just respect each other's opinions. But again, for me, I truly think that this is a company that has long-term future. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned into the video today. I'll be back to my typical setup hopefully by Sundays when I'm anticipating to be back home. But until next time, everybody, keep investing.